right, Brutes, 16.5. Before we talk about the workout, I want you guys to make sure that you're attacking this workout with everything that you have left. Everyone that started the Open has started with some kind of incentive, whether it was to make it to the regionals, whether it was to prove something to yourself, maybe prove something to someone else. But the fact is, this is your opportunity to see it through. So regardless of the task that we have to accomplish here for 16.5, I want you to make sure that mentally and physically you are prepared to give it your very best, because this is the last one. So let's finish strong. 16.5 from a logistical standpoint is going to be thrusters and bar facing burpees. If you guys were around for 2014 CrossFit Open, this is a very familiar workout. If you ask me, I'd personally much rather be doing this than the thruster row from last year. But nonetheless, it's 21 thrusters, 21 burpees, 18-18, 15-15, 12-12, 9-9, 6-6, 3-3, done. So it is for time. Everyone will be finishing this workout. In Dave Castro's notorious first words from 2014, the clock won't save you with this one. So from a strategic standpoint, we will make sure that you guys are kind of following a traditional warm-up scheme that we would commonly provide for you guys with Brute. Maybe 5 to 10 minutes of some single modality movement, whether you choose to go for a jog, air dyne, or row. If I had my choice of any of those three, I'd probably get you guys onto a bike. Just the least amount of eccentric loading there in space. You're gonna pass through all the major planes and feel good about that. So 5 to 10 minutes there, whatever you prefer. I usually prefer on the long end for a shorter workout like this. Then mobility-wise, you guys want to make sure that you're doing any kind of joint prep for your hips that you may need to. For me specifically, this looks like a multi-plane or multi-direction lunge, so maybe some forward walking lunges, backward walking lunges, some lateral walking lunges, or even some of those Cossack slides that we've programmed for you guys a few times. And then also same with shoulders. You want to make sure that you're freeing up as much space in the front of your body. So really thinking about loosening up the pecs, the delts, the front and the back of the shoulders, so that we can free up plenty of space for that overhead lockout of the thruster. For many of you, that's actually going to turn into a point or a position of some rest, an opportunity for you to catch some breath in the movement itself. So make sure you free up what space that you can there. And then also your ankles. Those of you guys that struggle traditionally with keeping your torso more upright in the thruster, going to want to spend some more time on the bottom of your feet and your ankles so that we can help focus on some more upright position for the thruster specifically. In regards to equipment for this workout, pretty minimal. If you guys are obsessed with equipment, you might want to consider using your Ola shoes, obviously. Again, that's kind of for the tight ankle athletes. If you guys squat in them every day, I would say you might as well do this workout in them, so utilize those. Wrist wraps are something to consider. It's going to help create a tighter support in the lockout, and then it might even make you feel like you got a little bit more juice at the bottom of that burpee as well. And then lastly, your knee sleeves. So if you guys are used to wearing these, it's going to save some wear and tear on the knees throughout the thrusters, but also it might consider saving maybe 2% of energy down there in the bottom of the squat. It might give you a little bit of a boost. So use that in regards to your equipment. And then the last thing is the prep. So after you go through your general warm-up, what I would suggest is definitely going through a few empty barbell thrusters, maybe practicing the sequence of a few burpees. And then from there, what we'll do is basically step right into a loaded barbell, as RX, so 95 and 65. I'd encourage you guys to go through 3 thrusters, basically at the tempo that you're going to start and end the workout with. Drop the bar, 3 bar facing burpees, step back to it, 3 thrusters, 3 bar facing burpees. One that's going to give you an idea of how it's going to start to feel when the workout starts. Your heart rate is going to spike a little bit, and then also an idea of how it will feel moving from movement to movement a couple times. So that's kind of our advice for just getting prepared for the workout. Now, your game plan for the workout is going to differ for many of you guys. Obviously, we have athletes at the very top end, 1% in the CrossFit community, and then we've got athletes that are brand new and very much finding out what CrossFit even offers as a stimulus. This is being your first Open. So what I would encourage you to do is basically run your race. And for anyone, you want to think about it on a relative scale, being close to like a 2K pace on a rower. Or a 1 mile run for time. This is how this workout's going to feel. So if you come out too hot, you're going to pay for it later. But also if you come out too casual and too slow, you're going to definitely want to redo this and wish that you had sped it up a little bit from the beginning. So we've got to kind of toe the line a bit with what you're capable of. Now, if you guys are commonly the athlete that's stepping under that 95 pounds for a thruster and can easily go through it unbroken on Fran, this should be your goal, is to go unbroken on this workout. Now obviously the pacing is a little different. It's a longer lasting workout, being that it is a pressing movement and a pressing movement. So if you know you struggle with local muscle fatigue, like your triceps and your shoulders get blown up, then you're going to be on the opposite end of the scale, where you might need to consider breaking up your sets more early than you even think you should. So for your set of 21, maybe you go 7s, and then you steadily break through your burpees, and then you pick up that bar, and on your set of 18, you do 6s. So maybe you're either going to be breaking them into thirds in order to control your heart rate and keep a sustainable pace, or you're going to just find a specific rep scheme for you. I personally am a big fan of trying to chunk through when I know that I have to break things up in more than half. So an example would be on my set of 21, I would try to maybe push through 15 reps, drop it, casually rest, couple breaths, time it out. Make sure that you have a game plan, right? If you are going to rest, let's set the standard for 4 to 5 breaths maximum, and then we're going to pick up that bar and finish that set. So then that would leave me with 6 more reps, and I'd get to my burpees. For the burpees, a lot like 16.1, you want to make sure that your pacing is very similar from the beginning to the end. So what that means is you guys don't want to come out the gate fast to your burpee and then immediately skipping and jumping over the bar, and then eventually peeling yourself off the ground into the third round, somewhere in here between 15 and 12. So you know that you start the workout the way that you could potentially finish it. For most of our athletes, we're going to encourage you guys that you step out of the bottom of that burpee. If you guys go back and watch Rich, Matt, and Ben go through this workout, watching Rich specifically, he kind of went back and forth to his strategy for his burpee. So there were a lot of times he would pop off the ground, jump immediately over the bar, and then for about another half of his reps, he was actually popping off the ground and stepping towards the bar as he jumped over it. So with an athlete at that level, obviously he knows himself and knows exactly in that moment what he needs to do to control where his heart rate is and how he's feeling for the work that he still has yet to do. For most of you guys, I would try to stick with something from the beginning and ride it through out the rest of the workout. I think that obviously Fraser had a really fast time in this workout, somewhere in the low 8-minute range. I'm sure that we will see people push that and exceed those expectations, but for those of you guys that were around in 2014, I think your ultimate goal needs to be to improve upon your score. So if you know exactly what that is, or even if you don't know, go check it. Go check the archives. That's one of the valuable things of signing up for the Open, is that information is always there for us. So go take a look and then challenge yourself. Maybe even if you got video, go watch the old video and see what changes you can make to make sure that you're a more fit version this year in 16.5 than you were in 14.5. And from a mentality standpoint, guys, this workout's a grind. You are going to get to the set right here. After you finish the set of 18, it's going to feel like you have an eternity left to go. Just keep in mind that the sets do get smaller, and that the closer that you get to the end, obviously the closer that you are to the finish. I know that the pain's going to continually set in more and more, but try more than anything to hold yourself accountable to when and how long you're resting. By the time we get out here to the 15 and 12, many people are going to start putting their hands on their knees and taking unpredicted or unscheduled rest, and that is where your time is going to drastically, even up to the minutes, start to come out of your hands. So make sure that you adhere to a game plan, write it out if that's what you got to do. Have a buddy film you or be there to cheer you through it alongside with your judge, so that someone's there to hold you accountable, and attack this thing with all you got. Let's finish the Open strong.